about Samson. Now, Samson is a descendant of a tribe called the Danites, which is one of the sons of Israel, Dan, from that tribe. And his daddy's name was Manoah. Now, one day, Manoah's wife was walking in the garden, and an angel appeared before her and said, hey, I know you barren and bear not, but you gonna have a baby. She was happier than 5 dogs chewing on a cornflake sandwich. So she said, wait, hold it right here. Let me go get my husband. Angel said, bet then, I'll be right here. So she go and get her husband, Manoah. Manoah and the wife come on back where that angel is, and the angel say, hey, how y'all doing? Manoah say, hey, what's going on? Look here. Tell me what you just told my wife. Angel say, pay attention now. Y'all are gonna have a son. Name him Samson. Your wife can't drink none of that wild Irish rose. Leave the Jack Daniel alone. Don't eat no unclean stuff, and don't cut the boy's hair. Manoah say, bet then we can do that thing. Look here, I'm really happy, so is my wife. Let us fix you something to eat, and let us offer a burnt offering. Angel say, whoa for a minute, my brother. First of all, if you're going to do a burnt offering to the Lord, right? And as far as you cooking them victuals, hey, I'm not hungry right now. So Manoah said, bet then. And he begins to prepare the burnt offering, which is the custom of the Israelites at that time, right? And so when he lit the fire, angel jumped in the fire. Now see, Manoah didn't know that angel was an angel. He thought it was a man, so he up there, right? And the angel go up with the flame. They hurried up and bowed their head because they knew now that's an angel from the Lord, right? And so it came to pass that later on they did have the son, and they named the son Samson. Now Samson was growing up and everything, you know, a teenager and stuff, and them hormones was on him, right? So Samson had was looking at this woman from a town called Timnah of the Philistines, right? And he went to her daddy and said, hey, daddy, I like this woman of the Philistines. Can you get her for me? Manoah looked at him, why you always like the Philistine women? And he looked at his son, and his son said, look, I like this woman. Can you get her for me? So he said, all right, he can never get no women from the Israelites. I always got to get them Philistines, but I'm going to get it for you because you my son and I love you. So anyway, they go to the girl's house, meet the parents and everything. So Samson say, let me throw a feast, which is their custom. You know, they throw a feast when they getting ready to pick a wife or something, you know, important like that, right? Like we would do a marriage ceremony and what do you call that after set? A reception, right? So anyway, Samson was mingling and everything, and he walked over there and met some of the Philistine woman's kinfolk. Well, they weren't really kinfolk, but they was Philistines, right? And so Samson put a riddle to him, say, look here, if y'all can solve this riddle, I'll give you a whole bunch of stuff. But if you can't solve this riddle, you give me a whole bunch of stuff, right? Well, anyway, Philistine couldn't solve that riddle. And they didn't want to give up the stuff, right? So they started messing with Samson's fiance. Hey, look here, baby. You get Samson to tell you that secret. Because if you don't, we going to jack you up. We going to jack your mama up and your daddy, right? So she's all scared and everything. Besides, they was her people, the Philistines, right? So she go to Samson and say, oh, you don't love me no more. Samson, please tell me. Oh, tell me the secret, right? And you know how we are, boy. You get the boo-hooing and crying and getting on our last nerve. We gonna tell you the secret, right? And Samson told him. So she go back to the Philistine dudes and say, all right, here's the secret. So it came about on the 7th day of the feast when they all got back together, right? The Philistine man who was messing with us said, hey, look here, we know that secret, Jack. Give up the stuff. So Samson said, oh, I get it. If y'all hadn't applied with my heifer, now you know we can't call no woman no heifer today, boy, unless we want to get beat down, right? But I hear them calling each other that, right? But anyway, look here, I don't want to go there no more. But anyway, Samson said, if y'all hadn't messed with my girlfriend, my fiance, you wouldn't have known nothing. Well, I'm a man of my word, I'm going to give you all the stuff. So what Samson do is, he go beat up some other Philistines, take their stuff, and give it to these dudes, right? But it came to pass that Samson went to the daddy of this girl and said, all right, we married now, where my wife at? And the daddy said, hey, dude, I thought you did not want her because she told that secret. I thought you hated her, man, so I gave her to your boy. Now, Samson did not appreciate that, man. He started foaming at them out. But the daddy quickly wanted to appease him, so say, hey, look here, take my younger daughter. She's fine, man. And besides, she's prettier. Samson wasn't even going for that, man, so he went away. But he didn't go away happy, man. What he did was he went on and caught him like I forget the number, but he caught a bunch of foxes, right? Tied their tail together. Now, you know you gotta be a rough dude to catch a bunch of foxes and tie their tail together, because foxes don't just let you do that, right? And he put some torches in between their tail and sent them amongst the crops of the Philistines, right? Burned up all the crops, man. Philistines was mad, Jack. So what they did was say, hey, man, who burned up our crops? And one of them who had saw all this stuff said, yeah, Samson, man, the husband of that girl who belonged to them people live up there, right? So they went up to Samson's wife, his fiancee's house, and burned her and the daddy. Now, you know Samson was mad. Boy, he was mad as hell, Jack, about that thing when he heard about it. So what he did was, he went and found him a new jawbone of an ass, man. Now, you know, that tripped me out, man. He didn't find no old jawbone of an ass, right? He found a new jawbone. Picked that jawbone up and went and killed 1,000 Philistines with it. Now, you know that was a rough dude. Killed 1,000 of them, right? So the Philistines were not too happy about that stuff, but here what happened now. So later on, Samson, he was, still had them hormones, man. He had to have a woman. And besides, the Lord wasn't through with him womping on them Philistines. So he always had him like a Philistine woman, right? Well, anyway, he was liking this woman named Delilah. But before he really got hooked up with Delilah, the Philistine men got together and went up to the Israelite camp and said, hey, man, we tired of y'all. Especially that Samson, Jack. Give us Samson. And the Israelite dudes all scared. They're, all right, we'll get him. So they went and get Samson and say, hey, Samson, look, man, you've been causing untold damages to them Philistines, and you know they rulers over us, dude. Come on, we're going to have to give you up to them. Samson said, all right, look here, I'm going to let y'all tie me up. Long as y'all don't jump on me, because I don't want to have to beat you down, you my kinfolk. So they said, yeah, okay, we not going to mess with you, but we going to take you to them, dude. So he let them tie them up and everything and deliver them on off to the Philistines, right? So when he get in the camp of the Philistine men, he break off the doggone bind and start whomping on them dudes some more, right? Oh, man, that dude was too rough. But anyway, he went through beating up on the Philistine. But let's talk about that Delilah now. Because she must have been a fine sugar mama because Samson was liking her, Jack. And the Philistine knew Samson was liking her. So they go to Delilah and say, hey, look here, sugar. Now, we know you like riches and everything. And we know Samson in love with you. Look here. Find out his secret. We gonna give you the world. And Delilah, she probably was one of them women that like the world having the world, right? So she said, oh, Samson, tell me your strength. She just worried him and got on his nerve and kept trying him until he said, all right, baby, look, if you cut off my hair, I'm going to be weaker than a kitten. So she go back and tell them Philistine dudes, and they give her all kind of riches, right? So one day, Samson was laying around her, you know, he put his head in her lap, and she cut his hair out, right, because he was asleep. But he must have been in a deep sleep, boy, because, hey, somebody get to cutting my hair, I'm going to wake up. But all this is from the Lord, man. The Lord work with you, man, to do stuff, right? So anyway, the Philistines came upon him, man. He's all weak, and they poked his eyes out, tied him up, threw him in prison, right? Later on, they said, hey, we're going to make sport of this dude, right? So they gave a big old feast in, I think they was like worshiping their god Dagon, right? So they all, the Philistines, high dudes, man, you know, important dudes of the Philistines, gathered in this Coliseum, right? All the time, Samson hair growing back and stuff, right? But he couldn't see, right? So they had a little boy lead him into the Coliseum so they could spit on him, and throw knives at him, kick on him and everything, right? Make fun of the dude, because hey, let's face it, Samson wumped on a lot of them Philistines, right? And he wasn't through wumping either, right? Guess what? Samson told this dude that was leading him in, hey, put me between these pillars, man. I just want to feel them, while I'm getting spit on and everything. So the little dude just situate Samson so he between the foundation pillars of the doggone Coliseum. And Samson prayed to the Lord, said, Lord, let me have strength one more time. And the Lord said, bet, you got strength one more time. Samson pushed the doggone pillars, right? Whole place come down, man, he killed like 3,000 Philistines, and of course he died too, right? And that's my story that I read from the Bible about Samson. And the moral of that story to me is that you can be Samson and serve the Lord, or you can be Delilah and serve those riches. That's the story I read, and I was glad to share it with you.